Hi, this is Mrs. Evans, and I just wanted to remind you that we will be taking notes. You're to use the note sheet there in front of you. If you don't have the note sheet, please go and get it from the Tech Time place. And at any point, you may stop and pause the video to work a little on your own, then restart the video to check your work. Please make sure you're completing your notes and turn them in with your playlist. Welcome to Tech Time. We have been studying how to solve systems of equations, and we taught you one of three methods, and that is solving by graphing. We are currently working on the second way to solve, and that is solving through substitution. The third way, solving by elimination, will be coming soon. But for now, we need to work on solving by substitution. There are 6 steps you need to remember. So take your Tech Time notes. On the back of these problems, you should see a note sheet for you to fill in some blanks. And step 1 is to rewrite the equation with a substituted variable, so that you can have all x's or all y's. So here we'll take a look at the first one, and we see 2x plus 8y equals 20. And they're telling us that y is equal to 2. So in order to satisfy step 1, I'm going to rewrite the first equation, 2x plus 8. And instead of writing a y, I'm going to use a parentheses. Parentheses are grouping symbols, and they help us keep our work organized. So in your notes on the back of the problem sheet, you can write the answers to that. That is, parentheses are grouping symbols, and they help us keep our work organized. This is very true and important, especially when it comes to negative signs. Okay, back to our notes. So step 1 is to rewrite the problem with the variable substituted, at least one of the variables substituted. All right, the second step is to distribute. You need to distribute any numbers that are outside the parentheses inside the parentheses. So here we're distributing an 8 to the 2. We're multiplying. When you distribute, you're multiplying. So we rewrite the equation and distribute. 8 times 2 is 16 equals 20. The next thing we need to do is to combine like terms. This is step 3 in your notes. When we combine like terms, we are looking for all the x variables or all the non-variables or all the y variable terms, and we're combining those together. Well, right now we don't have any of those. Everything is already combined and ready to go. So we're going to proceed to step 4, and that is to go ahead and solve for the variable. The variable in this case is x. In order to solve, I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides, and 2x is equal to 4. Divide both sides by 2, and x is equal to 2. Step 5 is to now turn around and solve for the other variable. We don't need to do that in this case because the other variable is already solved for. They tell us that y is equal to 2. So we know that our x comma y pair is really 2 comma 2. Well, how do I know for sure that I got the right answer? And that's when the final step, number 6, comes in, and that is our check step. You want to rewrite one of the long equations while replacing the variables with their values. So here we're going to write 2 times x, and instead of x we're going to write a 2, plus 8 times y, and instead of y we're going to write a 2, and that equals 20. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 8 times 2 is 16, equals 20, and 4 plus 16 is 20, and 20 equals 20. we have verified that we have found the correct solution to our system. All right, let's try another one. Step 1. Rewrite your equation while substituting the value for the variable. So 2 times x. Well, what is x? X is 5. And remember, we need to use our parentheses. Plus y equals 10. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus y equals 10. And we now need to move into solving. We've distributed, we've combined like terms, and now we get y is equal to 0. Be careful that you don't confuse y equals 0 with no solution. Y equals 0 does not mean no solution. No solution is when the variables completely cancel out. The y didn't cancel out, it's still here. Its value is just 0. Remember, there is a 0 on the coordinate plane. Y can be 0 and still have a solution. So now we need to figure out what is x. Well, we are told in the original problem that x is equal to 5. So we know that our ordered pair is 5, 0. But step 6, we need to check it. 2 times 5 plus 0 equals 10. Where did I get that equation? Well, I rewrote this equation while substituting the numbers from my ordered pair back into the equation. And now I can check it. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 0 equals 10. 10 plus 0 is 10, so 10 equals 10, and that is true. Okay, let's try another one. Step 1, rewrite the equation while substituting for the variable. 5x minus 2 times y. What is y? Y is 2x. Oops, grabbed the whole paper there. Remember to use your parentheses, equals 3. Now what's the next step is to distribute. Rewrite 5x minus 2 times 2 is minus 4. X equals 3. Now we get to see we can combine like terms. 5x minus 4x is just 1x equals 3. So you might say, well, I already know what y is. Y is 2, but it's not 2. It's 2 times x. So we have to now go back and solve for y this time. Okay, every time you substitute, use your parentheses. And y is equal to 6. So our ordered pair is 3, 6. Did I get it right, Mrs. Evans? Well, let's find out. Check step 6, is to check it. 5 times x, which we now know to be 3, minus 2 times y, which we now know to be 6. And if it's correct, it should all add up to be 3. 5 times 3 is 15, minus 2 times 6 is 12, equals 3. 15 minus 12 is 3, and 3 equals 3. So our ordered pair is 3, 6. Let's try another one. Step 1, rewrite the equation and substitute in for the variable. 2y plus x. What is x? X is 3y. Oops. Okay, equals negative 15. Step 2, distribute. Well, there's nothing to distribute here because really the coefficient out in front is just a 1. So now step 3, combine like terms. 2y plus 3y is 5y equals negative 15. Step 4, solve for the variable. The variable this time is y. We're going to solve for y, and y is equal to negative 3. Step 5, the newly found value for y back into one of the original equations, we're going to use x is equal to 3 times y. And what is y? Negative 3. X is equal to 3 times negative 3, so therefore x is equal to negative 9. So our ordered pair is negative 9, negative 3. Mrs. Evans, did I get it right? I don't know, did you? Let's find out. Step 6, check step. 2 times y, which is negative 3, plus x, which is negative 9. Here's a good reason we use our parentheses. It's plus x, but x is negative. So we're still going to keep it plus x, but we're just going to put our x in parentheses. And so it's plus a negative 9. And so now we can multiply. Negative 6 plus negative 9 is equal to negative 15. So if I borrow $9 from my mom and I borrow $6 from a friend, I'm in total $15 in debt, which is also equal to negative 15. So yes, you got it correct. Let's try another problem. These get a little bit more challenging in the sense that we have a little bit more to distribute this time. Or a little bit more to substitute, I should say. Again, step 1's the same. Rewrite the equation and substitute in for the variable. Well, the variable this time is y, and y is equal to x plus 9. Make sure to use your parentheses and finish writing the equation. Now, step 2, we're going to distribute. And we're going to distribute to 2 terms this time. So we distribute the 7 times the x and the 7 times the 9. 4x plus 7x plus 63 equals 19. So step 2 is to distribute. Step 3 is to combine like terms. 11x plus 63 equals 19. Subtract 63 from both sides equals negative 44. So we're in the middle of step 4 at the moment. So step 1 was to rewrite the equation with the substitution. Done. Step 2 was to distribute. Step 3, combine like terms. Step 4, solve for the variable, which in this case is x. Step 5, substitute the value for the variable back into the original equation. Either one. And then step 6 is to check your work. Rewrite the equation using the values that you found. And if it's correct, your work will check out. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16, plus 7 times 5 is 35, equals 19. This becomes 19 equals 19, and that is correct. Okay, let's do another one. First step is to rewrite the equation while subbing in for the variable. Here we're going to sub in for y. Oops. Step 2, distribute. 2 times 6x is 12x. 2 times 11 is 22. Minus 4x is equal to 14. What's step 3? Step 3, we're going to combine like terms. Step 4, we need to solve for the variable. Step 5, we need to substitute the variable back into one of the original equations so that we can solve for the other variable. And step 6, that's your check step. Substitute the value terms back into, the values of the variables back into the equation, and then see if it comes out correctly. So here again, notice the parentheses. X is negative, right? It's -1. But so is the original term of -4x. So using those parentheses kept that straight. Now we can see that -4 times -1 is +4, and therefore 14 is equal to 14. Okay. I hope this has been helpful. If there's still time left, you can do the other two. You know how to use your check step now, so you can know for sure whether or not you solved it correctly. Good luck.